recruit people to something that we're actually going to be doing some type of action, something effective that's not just standing out and taking pictures and showing a massive crowd. I think that's probably where the effectiveness would come from a protest.
Yeah, sometimes I like to pull up and show my massive crowd.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, sometimes chicks like that. Sometimes, you should show them your crowd. Whip it out, let them know.
Yeah,
like I have a massive crowd. And it gathers whenever you're around.
You do whip out your massive crowd with a permit, though, right?
Oh shit, bro! Have I said too much? Am I incriminated?
Wow.
Edit that out.
Wow.
Edit that out.
All right, it's rolling, and we're fading in, and welcome.
Bro, I told you I don't smoke anymore.
What?
You said you were rolling up something.
No, I don't smoke. I vape. The camera's rolling.
Oh, okay.
Although technically it's not rolling because that means like rolling film, but that's just what film people say. But the digital recording device is recording to the hard disk. And the cameras are up, the audio's up.
Is the hard disk not rolling? Is it an SD?
It's a SSD.
SSD. Oh, it's not rolling.
Oh, actually, you know what? No, this one is going. It is rolling. This is an older one.
Oh, so it's HDD or whatever.
Yeah,
No, HDD. Yeah.
Hey, anyways, welcome. What's your Ness podcast?
Yeah. We're smart. We know the technical stuff.
We know all types of technical film terms and digital terms and all kinds of things. Hey, I'm Spenny, joined as usual by Alexander the Great, my co-host. Be sure you like and subscribe because we are interesting and fun to listen to. At least we think so.
Yeah. And sometimes we're hammered, and you can catch that, too.
Yeah. It makes it even more fun.
Yeah.
Hey, it's just us today. No guests.
Yeah.
What's our Ness?
Oh, my God. That kind of rhymes.
Yeah.
No guess. Oh man, you should have been a rapper.
What's our Ness? No guess.
I see you rapping, boy. You had them bars. Spenny had bars.
Don't test, cause we're the best. It's the boys from What's Your Ness? Hey.
So today it's a lot going on in our country, in our city, in our state, in our world. Bombs are dropping in places and stuff. So I think just with the inefficiency that the world is running on today, I think me and you should talk about a little effectiveness.
Effectiveness. Okay,
yes.
that's a good.
You got to be effective.
Yeah. So I'm gonna pull up the definition here.
Mm-hmm.
Effectiveness: the degree to which something is successful in producing a desired result. Success.
Oh, that's a great fucking word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who picked that? It's fucking amazing.
Yeah. So yeah, effectiveness. Mm-hmm. Well, how do you personally define effectiveness, Alex? Is it about outcomes, efficiency, or something else?
I kind of like, cause I like to be a different word. I like to be efficient. And to be efficient, you have to be effective because you have to get the thing done. To add it to your efficiency.
Yeah.
So I like to find the quickest, best way to do something. Mm-hmm. Because I feel like a lot of people try to find the quickest, easiest way to do something. And sometimes you can do it easier and do it quicker, but it's not better.
Yeah. And
I'd rather find the quickest way to do it the best, And I don't think a lot of people understand, they differentiate that part about it. It's like, yes, you can do something really fast, but you can do it really shit too.
Yeah. So
I want to do it as fast as I can with it not losing quality.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like my thing about effectiveness is about the efficiency part of the effectiveness is getting it done, but it's not just slopping it together to say it's done. It's actually doing it at a high quality.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's your take?
Well, I was very ineffective at setting. Actually, I was very effective at setting up because I set up quickly, but I forgot to put the socks out behind you. But they're in that little bin over there if you want to grab those while you're off camera. But effectiveness for me...
Look at you catching it early, though.
Yeah. I looked around and I was like, wait, hold on. And then I was about to throw them to you and I was like, oh, no, wait, they're all organized over there. But...
Yeah, shout out to the assistant.
But effectiveness to me, when I think of effectiveness, I think of, is it producing the desired result? that we want. You know, like, did you put the socks in the right place? Yes, they're perfectly visible. That was an effective maneuver. It's right in there. But
That's what she said.
Yeah. Oh wow.
Start early.
You got to be effective with the dick.
Yeah.
When someone finesses you out of some dick.
It happens to us all.
Yeah. I think effectiveness is, I think for me, it doesn't matter how efficient I am as long as I get the outcome. However, efficiency does end up being part of the outcome, because if you're not being efficient about something and you do get the effective outcome, well, you've spent so much time on it. So I see how your efficiency point ties into it. But when I think of effectiveness, I think it's like, okay, you know, he was doing this thing for years and years and years and slogging away at it, but was it effective? Like, did it end up working in the end? And that to me is what is at the core of that definition, to me. So
yeah. And you know, just to speak on current events, I feel like, you know, so the world has not been very effective. You know, like, you guys are gonna see this a little late, so don't kill us for it. But we're Israel just dropped bombs on Iran. Iran dropped bombs back. You know, Trump had a freaking military
military parade, on his for his birthday. Well, it was like the 250th anniversary of the army, so he was also on his birthday, and he was he wants to be a dictator, you know.
Oh, dictator? Yeah. He should have made it a girth day then.
Girth day for the dictator.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. No, I think that sort of ties into the next one, which is can someone be effective but unethical, and where's the line between results and values? And I think
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think effective for what their goal is, right? Like, you know.
But like you said, it's like being in America and being, you know, part of the capitalist system and things of that nature. It's like all these corporations, they can be effective, they can be multi-trillion-dollar companies, but do their values actually make humanity's life better? You know, it's like, think about how shit people's lives are scrolling on, you know, social media all day. Like, did they make our lives better by connecting us to people? Like, yeah, but did they make our lives a lot worse by having us connect with too many people, and now we're just
overexposure?
Yeah, we're just it's too much. You know, and they knew how the dopamine would happen. You know, it's damn near like gambling the way we're scrolling these social media outlets now, looking for something to give us that jolt of laughter or disgust or anger. Because, you know, I tell people all the time, like, bro, a lot of people, you know, it's a human thing. You know, like I said, I probably do it more than I think I do. But it's like we look for things that upset us more than we look for things that make us happy. Yeah. So it's like we'll see a bunch of shit that make us happy, and then we'll grin. And then somebody will have an opinion that's not our opinion. Yeah. And now that's when we pull out our thumbs. Yeah. You know, now we need to tell them about themselves and how ignorant they are and all this other stuff. And it's like, bro, why don't you go on to the post about something that you loved and say how much you loved it? You know, but it's like, nah, you got to let people know how much you hate something. Yeah. And I think that's a waste of fucking energy, personally.
Absolutely. I agree. I mean, that's kind of how I've been for the most part. Like, I try to not pay too much attention to a lot of stuff just because it's like depressing.
Yeah, fuck yeah.
But you know, when some headlines pop up, then I'll start like doing like, oh, and this happened and this is going on, and it's like like I was talking to you before we went on. It was like someone at work had brought up the military parade thing. I didn't know he was doing that. And then so I went and like looked at an article about it, and then I was seeing all these comments about the protests that were going to be going on. They're like, no, well, we got to show up for No King's Day.
Bro, I went outside, and then there was just fucking way more people outside than I'm used to seeing outside. I scrolled the internet, you know, way more than I'm happy to admit. Yeah. I had no idea this shit was going on. Bro. My whole fucking timeline is comedy and finance. Yeah. And apparently those two things didn't cross with Military Day and fucking King's Day. So bro, I did not know any of that shit was going on, and it just got caught in traffic and shit.
Yeah. Well, and no one really told me. Like I said, if I hadn't heard about it he wasn't even talking about the protest. He was talking about the military parade. This coworker guy, and I freaking went and was just reading an article on Reddit about it, and I'm looking in the comments, and everyone's like, "Oh my god, this is so horrible! Like he wants to be a dictator. Like no King's Day, no King's Day." And people posted links to the website. And they had a website, and it's like a map of planned protests. And I was like, oh, this is something going on around the country. And I was looking at other articles about, shit he's been doing and, these deportations and raiding people at Home Depot and pulling kids out of elementary school.
I heard about the kid. Like I said, I get a little bit of the information. Yeah. And, like, the Home Depot thing completely makes sense to me. But, it's like that's every American knows about the day workers you can get at Home Depot. So I'm like, they definitely going to hit up Home Depot. Yeah. But then I started hearing about like you said, they're pulling kids out of like daycares
or detaining just Latino dudes who are U.S. citizens and demanding to see their IDs, totally profiling them that are citizens, legal citizens, but just because they're really trying to crack down because I think. He wants to add 20,000 more troops to ICE, Immigration and Customs Enforcement, and freaking just like a lot of weird shit is going on, and they're all wear masks when they do it, like ski masks to hide their identities. They don't identify themselves as police officers, don't have badge numbers. They refuse to do that, which is like all very creepy. Yeah. So. Yeah, and then that guy, the freaking citizen that they sent to El Salvador, which is a whole other thing, sending people to this prison in El Salvador where they have no rights and they can just be there indefinitely is kind of so people are understandably very unsettled about. I've been unsettled reading these things, but then I'm going to work. I'm gotta exist and do my thing. Yeah.
Because like even the guy, the fucking TikToker, the African TikToker guy. I don't even know if he's African, but that guy. Apparently, he got caught up in some shit, and he just went back where he was from. He's like they were trying to like detain him because of course he's definitely an immigrant, from here. Like, but he's popular on TikTok, and the most probably more profitable TikTok is United States TikTok. So he's like probably like over here living, doing little gigs or whatever, making his money. Yeah. And apparently they were fucking with him, and he just was like, if they stop fucking with him, he's cut. He was like, fuck this, like y'all got to figure that shit out, And I heard a couple of scenarios like that to where it's not just, Latino or Mexicans, it's other, colored races. Because I haven't heard any Irish people, being harassed or, Italians or anything else that's outside of the U.S., Yeah. It just seems to be the more melanated individuals. Yeah. No. and with the emphasis on the, Spanish speakers.
Yeah. And supposedly because of so much of the outcry, they've said like, oh, he's telling them to like lay off the work sites and Home Depots and stuff because people are getting so pissed. I mean, that's really what sparked the L.A. riots, or the protests and riots, was the Home Depot raid, and then people were like actually obstructing ICE and like setting their cars on fire and shit. And then he was like sending in the National Guard, which. Then there's that whole debate about that. It's like, can he send in the National Guard? It's supposed to be the governor that does that, and Gavin Newsom's like, "Fuck you," and he's like, "Fuck you," and they're just like,
he's like, but he said, he said he's on the arrest Gavin Newsom. Gavin Newsom hopped on the interwebs and was like, I wish you would try, try, motherfucker. I was like, whoa, okay, cojones, okay.
Yeah. So shit's getting crazy.
But did you hear about our senator getting fucking arrested?
I saw the video. They tackled him and they put him on.
I didn't see the video.
Let me look for it.
Somebody just told me about it, and I was like, what?
Yeah, so Chris Young, who's the head of Homeland Security, I think, who's like spearheading all this Nazi shit, is
Alex Padilla or whatever.
Yeah, Alex Padilla.
Because I think he used to be our attorney general or something.
Yeah, he's a senator. Let me see if I can find something that's not
hella long.
Yeah. Well, I don't have sound on it, so. But yeah, anyways, I think what he went in and he was just like asking her a question from the back. He kind of interrupted her. Well, they're trying to say like, oh, he was rushing the stage and doing all this. Like, you can clearly see he's like in the back of the room saying something. They immediately start shoving him out of the room. And then there's another video. I don't. Yeah, I think they have it here. Yeah, they shove him out of the room and then have him on the ground, and he's like, I'm a senator, and they're trying to say like, oh, he didn't identify himself, but he like clearly in the video is like, I'm Senator Alex Padilla, like, yeah. So it's just like pretty wild stuff that's going on.
And it was the FBI. Like,
yeah. And then, like, you hear on the guy on the video, he's like, "You're not allowed to record back here per FBI regulations." Like when he's recording them being handcuffed, and then the video cuts off. But enough, you see it enough, you know. Yeah. So
is that true? Was that true? Like, we need fact checkers. Man.
Yeah. No, I don't know.
But not the 2020 fact checkers.
Yeah. No, it's ridiculous. But so anyways, I was hearing about the military parade and reading all the shit and just seeing in the comments people kept posting about the No Kings thing. So I went down there to the Berkeley one because I figured like, oh, Berkeley is pretty chill.
Did you know where else it was happening?
Yeah, they had a map. They said there was one in like El Cerrito. There was one over here like near Pinole or something. Walnut Creek, I think you said you were in
Walnut
one.
Creek, fucking San Francisco, of course.
Yeah, San Francisco is huge.
Of course.
Yeah, I went to the Berkeley because I was like, I just want to like pop in and like see what's up. And yeah, they packed that pedestrian overpass at University and just had a bunch of signs put up and people holding funny signs, like all different types of people, old people had their kids, their dogs. Like it was just like, it was a chill vibe. Like everyone is there as in agreement. Like this is fucked.
Is that University or Gilman?
University. There were like a few people on Gilman because we drove by it. I was like, oh, is that it? It's kind of small. It was Gilman. And then I got to University, and that one was fucking packed to the brim. Okay, yeah, it was like all the way down. The ramps on both sides were like filled with people, and it was chill. I think it's well, that's what I was going to go into this question. Do you think political protests could still be effective in the modern world?
Fuck no.
Fuck no.
No, I say fuck no.
Why you say fuck no?
Because it's like the old school way. Well, the difference I will say about this is that one thing I did see that made this make so much more sense to me, to how like, everyday humans with jobs and problems organize all this shit, is that billionaire heiress of the Walmart fortune, one of the daughters or some shit, she's like funding some of this like push for the No Kings Day shit.
Oh, interesting.
And that makes a whole lot more sense than Americans agreeing.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of people are agreeing that what he's doing is not right, even people that voted for him are agreeing that he's not doing a great job so far. Us agreeing to come to a place or organize and get the information out to enough people fast enough.
Yeah.
It just didn't make sense to me until I saw that post about that billionaire lady.
Yeah, people,
like 71 billion.
Boycotting her or something, or the people were trying to boycott Walmart now. The MAGA.
Oh, really?
Yeah, they're pissed that
she had the money involved. I'm telling you, because that's the only way that's just the American way. The money always has to be the money.
Yeah.
It's like, I hate to say that, but even when things need to get better, the money has to fucking flow.
Yeah.
That's just the American way.
Yeah.
It's like, how else do things organize like this, and the advertisement and the information, how does it get to people quick enough?
Yeah.
With a concise plan, because everyday humans like to argue about shit. Oh, we shouldn't do it on University. We should do it at Cal Berkeley. The students aren't there. We can just go there.
Yeah.
No, we shouldn't. We should do it here.
Yeah.
And it's like, just shut the fuck up and do what we said.
Yeah.
And you need to have some money to have a team to organize it, to send out the information that this is what's happening. Don't try to decipher from the plan. We already got a plan for you. Do this. Do this, and everything else will work out.
Yeah. Yeah, so I was just looking it up to see. So I don't think she was the one organizing it, but she ran ads she bought advertisement.
Yeah, I told you that she didn't have to organize it. The money to tell you that this is important. So now when you're scrolling, you see that you should be there. Oh shit, we can just go chill for free with a bunch of people. Get a bottle. Let's go.
Yeah. Yeah, no, it was cool. Like, it was a fun vibe, and that's what I think. So I think yes and no as far as like, can the protests actually be effective? Because I think gathering people with a common cause, like-minded people, can lead to effective things. I think just showing up and holding a sign and being like, yeah, fuck you. Okay, yeah, now we're done. That's it. I've done my part. That's maybe not really effective, but I think to make a statement you know, and masses of people, like, especially that this was a counter to him trying to do this, like, jerk-off military parade and saying, oh, there's going to be, what he was expecting 200,000 people and only, like, 15K showed up to his parade thing, but then counterpoint nationwide, there's, like, all these different cities with streets filled with people.
I don't know,
against
bro.
him.
I don't know, bro. It's like, it's easier for us to say that in California.
Yeah.
Californians fucking hate Trump.
Yeah.
So I think that it probably was, it only seemed big because we're in California and we went to the California stuff, bro. So
No, it was nationwide.
Don't fucking shortchange me. I said it was only in California. Don't you say no.
It was not only in California.
Prove it. Fucking prove it.
All right.
Like, exactly. Like, you know I am. I'm a fucking prover.
All right, I'm going to. I got these.
What's this?
This is
I don't know. Is this a reliable source? I don't know.
That's BuzzFeed. It's
Okay. So at least 60% reliable.
Yeah. I only clicked on it because it was something that had like a direct comparison of his crowds at the military parade versus like here's St. Paul, Minnesota.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We got to talk about Minnesota next.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Minnesota's filled up.
Jeez.
Then you got. I mean, this is. You see this? Okay, BuzzFeed. Like this is just like a picture. Like there's. I'm sure there's parts of like our. You know, the No Kings protest that might have looked like this, but
yeah,
they're trying to make a point. But you know, Philadelphia,
Philly, okay, Trump's,
and Boston.
Oh man, there's a lot of.
Yeah.
Look like San Francisco.
Chicago.
Oh, the Shy, Trumpy Trump.
Philly.
Oh, again? Like
Philly again.
Okay.
Lansing, Michigan.
I don't know where that's at.
Neither do I. Ann Arbor, Michigan. I've heard of that.
Even worse.
Yeah. Toledo, Ohio. That's a little.
That's a little light.
Well, you know, it's Ohio. Asheville, North Carolina. It's like a pretty packed street.
Isn't that
there.
where they just had the fucking hurricane?
Did they?
Like a while back, didn't Asheville just have a fucked up hurricane? Where they okay, North Carolina, Charlotte.
Oh yeah, Charlotte, North Carolina, pretty packed there. Louisville, Kentucky.
No, bro, not Kentucky. Kentucky loves Trump.
Yeah. Well, not these people that showed up. Bethesda, Maryland.
Oh, that was a very tight shot.
Yeah, exactly. San Diego. No, some of these are tight shots. Like if the aerial shots of San Diego were fucking massive. Houston, Texas. Yeah. Austin, Texas.
Oh, Austin? Texas is in it?
London, England. Why are we? What?
Yeah. What the fuck? Okay, yeah.
You guys like Kings and
get the fuck
London,
off this
England.
shit.
Gunnison, Colorado. The list goes on. Detroit. Los Angeles was huge. I saw that. Yeah, they had that little baby Trump balloon floating around there.
The fuck? That looked like something from Rick and Morty.
Yeah. Atlanta.
Atlanta? Yeah, I can see Atlanta.
Yeah.
A little bit.
Vegas.
Bro, they would not have gotten me to a parade in Vegas.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Oh, there's Frisco.
Yep.
And Kansas City, Missouri.
A little light, but they're there.
Yeah. Montana. That's like 10 people.
I'm saying
the entire state.
Yeah.
El Paso, Texas.
The entire state was in my. Yeah. How did my entire Montana get?
Yeah.
And I'm sure they all voted for him.
Yeah. Vermont.
Damn,
Bernie.
bro, it was the whole country.
It was the whole country. Mar-a-Lago. Let's see, Seattle, of course, and oh yeah.
I don't even know what the fuck we're protesting. Are we just protesting the ICE raids? Like, I don't know.
Well, it's all his like dictator type activities. You know, defying court orders, Supreme Court ordering him to bring that guy back from El Salvador, and him defying it, and you know, various things. Like he's basically trying to consolidate as much power as possible. And people are like,
I'm saying because even like what was the other thing he did? The National Guard thing, like you said the National Guard is, I didn't know that they're supposed to be ran by the governor, but Trump, sent in the National Guard and had them doing shit, and then a judge told him that he legally can't do that, and he returned the power to Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
So the funny thing about that is I seen the headline and I was like, oh, Trump's backtracking. He gave the power back to fucking Gavin Newsom. But just me, I'm talking. I'm like, all right, hold on. Let me read the article and get a little information. And I think it was on Instagram, so I just read the caption, right? Mm-hmm. Read the caption, realized Trump didn't do shit.
Yeah.
The fucking judge basically was like, you don't have the fucking power, authority to do this, so we're giving it back to Gavin Newsom.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, okay, he's not backtracking. But it's like with Trump, you never know, bro. Like he can say something today and then say the opposite tomorrow.
And then he
act like
sent some Marines out there too, which is also like against the Constitution, like having Marines operate on American soil. It was like there was no like real, like there were a few cars that got burned, like a couple things that smashed up, but it was by and large just like crowds of people being like, no, fuck you, you're not deporting people, you're not raiding these people, and but I think, you know, overall, there's a lot of people that think it's ineffective because there are just a lot of people who just show up and hold a sign and that's all they do.
Yeah, and that's my thing about it is like, because also, I'm going to be honest, bro. It's like, yes, we're protesting, he's here, motherfuckers hate it and shit like that, but he's not going to not be president. Yeah. And we're only 5 months in. Yeah. So it's like buckle up, buddy. Yeah. Like that's one thing I was talking to some people about it, and I was like, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna save my outrage for the end. Yeah. I'm like, it's too early to be this fucking outraged. Like, well, yeah. For me, for my taste.
Yeah. But I think where the effectiveness comes in is networking. Is like being able to meet people. Like if you are like, oh, I want to recruit people to something that we're actually going to be doing some type of action, you know, something effective that's not just standing out and taking pictures and showing a massive crowd. I think that's probably where the effectiveness would come from a protest.
Yeah, sometimes I like to pull up and show my massive crowd.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, sometimes chicks like that. Sometimes, you know, you just show them your crowd. You know, whip it out, let them know. Yeah, like I have a massive crowd. You know, and it gathers whenever you're around.
You do whip out your massive crowd with a permit, though, right?
Oh shit, bro. Have I said too much? Am I incriminated?
Wow.
Edit that out.
Wow.
Edit that out.
Wow.
Now.
Yikes.
Let's go to the next question. What else we got to talk about?
Oh my god, they're so thick.
Bro, I'm super stoked on these Ness Culture cock warmers. I only ordered one, but they came in a pair. They gave me two. Do you want one of these cock warmers?
Bro, those are socks. They're not cock warmers. What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. I was joking, dude. Of course they're socks. I'm not like a weirdo or anything. Well, yeah, and last thing on we can move past the political shit. Do you think online activism, such as changing your profile picture or posting about a cause, is effective in making change?
You want a hot take?
Let's hear it.
You want a fucking hot take?
Keep it spicy.
I think that's more effective than the fucking protest.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because people live on the internet.
I was gonna
so with them living on the internet, if they constantly scrolling and they see more people converting to this thought process, they don't want to be the outsider, so they're going to convert. Yeah. Even if they don't believe it, they're going to convert socially. Yeah. So I think that being on the internet, like the Walmart chick, fucking running ads, I think that was more effective to get more people out. Yeah. Because that's where everybody's on their phones, and if you can't get to them on the phone, whatever you're talking about is fucked. Yeah. You know, so I think the changing I think having everybody try to change their profile pics that pushes a message is more effective than the fucking people actually being outside with signs, getting drunk, and smoking weed. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I wasn't getting drunk or smoking weed. I was just walking around taking footage.
Yeah.
Anyways, no, I agree with that. I think because basically kind of, and what you were saying earlier about people looking at things that enrage them or just bitching about shit online. I was seeing a lot of this. I've seen it before when there's political shit happening or a lot of people are changing their profile pictures, or when there's protests happening and there's no actual change happening right then from that protest, but a lot of people are doing it, and there's always going to be the people that get on there and are like, what are you actually doing? Like, you're not actually doing shit. Fuck you. And like, well, what are you doing? You're sitting on a fucking phone.
Talking shit to me about what I'm not doing.
Yeah. And I think that some of that is like just, trolls and shit, but I think that there's this want to like criticize, if you're not doing enough, you're not doing this, you're not doing that. But I do think, like you said, spreading awareness. Okay, you're changing your profile picture. Yeah, you're not like you're not like being heroic, but you are, by doing that, spreading awareness about something. And maybe 20 people look at your page and one of them clicks on, the article that you post or whatever you're talking about and investigates it. And then maybe they share it with some people. So I think there is an effectiveness to that. But, it's not... I think a lot of people's critique is, people just go out to these protests or they change their profile picture and now they think they're good and they can just pat themselves on the back. And that's the problem.
Yeah. There's a lot of self-sucking.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of self-sucking at these joints. But,
yeah.
But like I said...
You can't really worry about that. Like,
that's my point.
Yeah.
It's like, yes, there's going to be self-sucking, but like you said, if there are groups that are, formulating plans to actually take some legal action.
Hey, I was out there. There were dudes from the ACLU out there talking to people, like, exchanging information, getting people on board with whatever.
Yeah, I have a friend that graduated from Harvard Business School. Mm-hmm. Harvard is offering free political classes, online political classes, to teach you about like your rights and politics and all this other shit. So it's like. In Yale, like tagged on with it, or no, Harvard is suing the Trump administration, and Yale is like tagging in on it, and they're like sworn enemies. So it's like there's a lot of different entities moving towards him, like stopping him.
Yeah,
for whatever he's brewing up.
Because it's not just him; it's this whole the Project 2025. These people around him, that are really just trying to make things fucked for a lot of people and enrich themselves,
Yeah. And my thing is that I'm gonna be honest. Yeah. I don't pay attention or care about any of that shit because I still have bills and my daughter's in college and I have to pay her tuition, and I don't have the bandwidth to give a fuck about that stuff.
Yeah.
But for you people who do, please pay attention and like I said, organize and do things the legal way. Find out what the rights are, what the options are, and organize the other people. And then at the very, very end, I probably could help too. But right now, I have shit to do and bills to pay, so I don't have the fucking bandwidth to keep up with any of this shit. But you guys seem like you're doing a decent job, and I want to congratulate you.
Yeah.
Because I didn't know about the military shit. I didn't know about Trump's birthday. I didn't know about No King's Day. I didn't know about none of that shit until other people were just in my fucking way. But now that I've done a little research and I've found out a couple things, not bad. Not bad. I don't think it's going to change much, but I like it. I like Americans protesting because we never fucking do it.
Yeah.
And I feel like in Spain, they'll have a fucking insurrection over fucking coffee.
Yeah.
And we just be
right now it's too many tourists are like fucking up their housing market or something.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. like they will have an uproar about anything.
Yeah.
And Americans just be like, oh, gas fucking $12? Like, fuck it, man. I'll just sell ass.
Gotta work harder,
shit. Just a couple more blowjobs and I can drive to work. Like, that's how I feel like Americans fucking think about fucking shit. It's just like we just like take it. Just like, oh yeah, fuck it, just take it. So I will say I do like the kind of like organized, like, oh, we're like, this is the line.
Yeah.
I like that we're finding a line.
Yeah.
At some point, because Americans were just fucking whores. We just took whatever. Yeah. And now we're like, hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
This is getting a little...
Yeah. The double-sided dildo, bro, like, chill.
Yeah.
Chill.
Yeah.
You trying to put both sides in me? No.
Yeah.
It's like, this is where I draw the line.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, for real. Yeah, ass to ass.
So I do respect that part of it, but like I said,
and like when I went to the march during the pandemic, I was a big anti-masker. No, it was the march in Berkeley for the George Floyd, and but at the end of it, what I liked was like it was just huge. When I like took over walking down MLK, and the streets were filled like all the way ahead and all the way back. It was like seas of people because pandemic like. No one has anything to do. And we're like, I had been inside like watching all these live streams of all these protests around the country where people are just out there live streaming, and like the news media is saying like, oh, they're setting the city on fire and rioting, but you see the live stream, it's like, oh no, cops are just like instigating shit and so horny to use their gear and kick the shit out of people, and Trump is like fully encouraging them to do so. That
and you know, our previous guest from the Loveliness episode, he was one of the people outside live streaming. He was like big on that live stream.
I think I actually watched some of his live streams because I follow him on Facebook from back in the day.
Shout out J Mall Photography. You know, like I said, Black Fathers photo shoot every year, 100% free for Black fathers, so they can have images of their children. Started it 6, 7, 8 years ago. Been doing it every fucking year, and what he did it just to show, because the narrative was that Black fathers aren't a part of their kids' life, and like I said, he's like, that's just not my experience. Like he's like, I know all the Black fathers I know are a part of their kids' life. So a way to combat that narrative is to actually show images of Black fathers being fathers. Yeah. So he started the photo shoot doing that. Like that was 1 year. Somebody was asking him what he does, and then he's like, "All right, I'll show you what I do." And as a photographer, he's like, "I'm gonna take these pictures for free. Take out his time to not only take the pictures but edit them also." You know. But one thing that I know that he said that he didn't know he was going to get out of it, that's super cool about doing it every year, is now these Black fathers have this time capsule of their kids kind of growing, because they're doing it every year, and you see them getting bigger and awesome. Slimmer, or their style changing and all that other type of stuff. Even the expressions they make when they take the picture. Some of them are too cool now, so they don't smile as big as they did when they were little. So it's like, and then also it's like certain things, like me and my daughter. The very first one, my daughter asked me to pick her up, and I said no. And then he was like, "Man, pick her up." So then I picked her up, and now every year since then, either she's jumped on my back, I've jumped on her back, or I've picked her up. So now we have this whole tradition of specific poses that we do because it's me and her, and this has happened from the first photo shoot. So it's like, it's also you building this tradition with your kids of coming to the Black Fathers photo shoot, and you ain't got to be there long. Stand in line, get your snaps, get your. He doesn't just do like one pose, like one art leave. Yeah, it's like 4, 5, 6 shots of you and your kids. Yeah, and
it's an effective way to capture the moment and capture the years.
Yeah, it is. It's an effective way to dismiss a narrative. About a group of people that isn't true, because when you look at the actual numbers, it says that Black fathers are some of the most, if not the most, active parents. Fathers in a child's life. They show up to more events and XYZ. So it's like, yes, that was a narrative at one point in time, but that's dead and gone. That's an old timeline. These new Black fathers are very active.
Yeah, Dad, why didn't you come to my ballet recital?
Because your meat was showing and you didn't want to see
it. But going back to, so he was live streaming during all the I think, I saw it. And I was watching, there was on Twitch, there was this channel that it was like a compilation. All these people were streaming to Twitch, and this other channel,
you told me about this.
Put all those together. Yeah.
Like we had a conversation about this. Okay,
and you can see and it was totally like really showing what's going on. Of course, there's going to be some people out there fucking things up, but there's a lot of it you were seeing like, no, this is really being instigated. This is some very like authoritarian behavior that's happening. And so seeing that, it made me a little nervous to go, but I figured out Berkeley, it's cool, and it was. We just marched, and no one was breaking shit. Cops weren't fucking with anyone, and but it ended in this park right across from City Hall and the police station down there in Berkeley.
Oh yeah, where all those tents are now.
Yeah. And it ended right there. But there were like people running for local office, like who were like trying to affect change and get policies on there, just locally. And I think that's like one of the ways that the protests are effective. It's like, okay, once you've gotten all the awareness out on social media and people show up, now they can go meet potential representatives and hear them speak and see what whatever the issue is that they're out there about, like, hey, here's some people who are actually in the institutions and trying to figure out how we're going to change
and they
shit.
Need support. So if you're willing to support, they are trying to push the laws and initiatives that matter to you, apparently.
So I think,
and I feel like, and that's where I would think that it would be effective. It's like, if this whole protest is getting to senators, and lawmakers, and like I said, even if it's not senators, like I said, locally, it's like, well, I want our city to be safer for, XYZ type of person because of all the things going on or whatever the case may be. These people, you having your lawmakers there matters, because it's like you all gathered and you telling me, this is my plan. Are you guys with it? Yeah. Okay. Well, when I push this shit through, you better fucking vote right.
Yeah.
And that seems more effective than just a bunch of people who don't make laws showing up and giving their opinions.
Yeah.
Like that's kind of like,
yeah.
It's like, okay, it feels good. It feels good.
It was fun.
It feels good to circle jerk each other, but
yeah,
what's going to really happen?
I mean, we just I didn't even have a sign. We just went out there and we stood, walked across the bridge a couple times, and then sat on the side and we're just watching people looking at the different signs and hearing some of the conversations. And
I heard it was a lot of boomers. Is that true?
It was pretty. Yeah, there were boomers, but there were people our age. There were. Not too. I mean, there were definitely some younger people, and then people with their kids were out there. So they were like children. I think the Berkeley one. Yeah, the best sign I saw was this guy. Had this green sign that was all faded, and it had the new picture was folded down on front, but he folded it up and showed us. He said, "Hey, look, this sign is 20 years old," and it had a picture of George W. Bush. It was all faded, and it says, "Stupid? ? Evil ? Both?" ? And the bottom says, "Doesn't matter." And he says, "Yeah, I got W. This is a 20-year-old sign." And then he pulls it down, and it's a picture of Trump's head, but photoshopped of an actual asshole, close up of an asshole.
Oh, I saw that on your shit. I saw that on your post. Yeah.
He's like, got W, and then I got this asshole, and I was like, "That's great." Yeah, I mean, not really. It made me laugh. Laughter is an effective medicine for.
Yeah.
but yeah,
it's like if you did that in Russia or China, you'd be fucking dead probably.
Yeah.
So Americans appreciate the freedom to make fun of your fucking president. Also,
yes.
It's like yeah, he sucks, but our fucking neighbors and relatives and whoever else voted him in.
Yeah.
Our fellow citizens
Those
voted
voting
him
machines. Elon helped him with the voting machines.
Yeah. He got voted in, so and it was majority. It was majority of this country said that they wanted him to be our president. So, we got to kind of understand that, but it is not the president that you want, or maybe you having a little buyer's remorse on your vote, and now you realizing it, and now you can make fun of him.
Yeah.
And that's legal.
Yeah.
So it's not all bad. We definitely want things to be better than they are.
Yeah.
But, consider the alternative. There's countries where you'll disappear if you make fun of the person in charge.
Yeah.
Yeah, easily.
That's what I think some people are worried about that, just with him consolidating power and things. But, I think it's a while before it would get to that, if it would get to that. But, that needs to be stopped at every freaking segment. I think even conservative ass Candace Owens was calling him out on saying
Candace Owens? Fuck no.
Yeah, she was going off about some free speech.
Fucking rubs.
No, but she was upset about some free speech thing, some anti-free speech. I think it had to do with the Harvard thing or something.
Yeah, Harvard's suing them for whatever. Like I said, I don't know what he did to Harvard, but they were trying to do something, and he I guess he was trying to block it, or he was telling them that they shouldn't. But he fucking like I said, them and Yale are on board with suing him. So that speaks volumes that Harvard and Yale are teaming up. So
yeah, she's critical that Trump, despite his claims of being a free speech advocate, is actively working to suppress speech in universities. She cites his actions against institutions like Harvard University, which face threats of funding cuts for not complying with certain demands. So yeah, it's even the people who were oh, free speech, now they're seeing well, now he's in charge. He's
buyer's remorse.
Yeah,
yep. What was it? Mexicans for Trump, or
yeah.
That didn't work out well.
Yeah.
One guy, he like I said, this is one of the first stories I heard before ICE really kicked into super mode. Is a guy fucking voted for Trump, and then they deported his Venezuelan wife.
Oh my God!
Yeah, that was crazy.
Well, I've been seeing all these. There's farmers that are getting pro-Trump farmers. All their workforce is getting deported, and they're pissed about that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's losing support.
Yeah.
But like I said, we got you guys. We got 3.5 more years of this shit. So like, I'm not getting hyped up in the beginning, bro.
Yeah.
Cause I've done it before and telling you, chicks don't like it when you nut too quick. So I'm gonna chill. I'm gonna chill and enjoy the ride. You know.
Yeah.
I'll come later.
You're just gonna hold your nose and take it.
Yeah. I'm gonna just come later. Like, don't worry about it. I'll be there at the end.
Jesus.
Yeah. Because right now, I feel like everybody's like, oh, Trump, oh, here they go, oh. And I'm just like, oh no, man, just slow and easy. Like, baby, you're moving too fast. Like, no, it's not going nowhere.
Yeah.
It's gonna be here for a while, baby. Like, enjoy yourself.
Yeah. I mean, my thought on this, and I don't know how much this I want to say online, but how so many people were able to mobilize and get out in the streets, like, why can that not be mobilized to do something more effective as opposed to just standing there with signs? But I'm not advocating for anything.
but okay, I will say this, because I said this to somebody. The crazy thing about this is that they tried to kill Trump once, right? Mm-hmm. And it didn't happen. Mm-hmm. I hope they don't. I hope no one actually assassinates him. Because then that's J.D. Vance.
Yeah.
And that guy seems scarier than Trump.
Yeah.
He seems like
he's
hyped
like
up.
The tech oligarch, like, bitch boy. Yeah, he's
kind of like intense.
Yeah.
Like from what I've heard about him, like he's kind of intense, and it's like you paid me what? Okay, yeah, you get a turn.
Yeah.
And I don't like that either.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound great at all.
Yeah.
I kind of take the uncertainty over the just like whoever has the biggest cock can fuck me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't like that guy.
Yeah. I mean, it's all, it's all pretty bad. But whatever, we're here. We got there's been some nice days out here in the Bay. I'm grateful for living out here, and I think, you got to just enjoy life. Do what you can, do what you're motivated to do, but enjoy yourself. Don't forget to enjoy yourself and take care of business. So what's the difference between being busy and being effective? Question from ChatGPT.
ChatGPT?
Yeah, I asked ChatGPT to, whenever the political thing's over, to give us general questions. So the AI wants to know, before it replaces us and we have an AI podcast of AI
did
standards.
You saw that shit?
That was so creepy. Yeah.
Should we show that?
Well, I don't have the sound set up for it right now, but
okay.
Yeah, it's...
Yeah.
There was a very realistic AI video of interviewing people on the street being like, yeah, AI is going to replace all of you. Like, it's going to replace videographers. It's going to replace interviewers. And,
no. It didn't say it was.
Yeah.
It said we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what was intense about it.
Yeah.
It was AI video speaking in first person.
Yeah.
Interviewing people. Mm-hmm. About how it was taking our jobs. It was like, yeah, man, we got it, man. We took this job. We're gonna take the other ones next, bitch.
Yeah.
Like it was Jersey Shore or something.
Yeah, it was like people out in the street. It was so weird.
Yeah. I'm saying some of it was kind of like sketch, but like I said, it did. It's like if this
funny.
is the beginning. Like that's pretty fucking close. That's pretty damn good. Like I ain't gonna lie. Like because what it gave to me is that like. It was even talking about music videos. It's like technically, like shit, if it's enough of you on the internet, I can see them easily making an AI Drake video.
Yeah.
And then, like shit, they got to do a little edit to it.
And so many, like, modern music videos, like, especially, like, Bay ones, not just Bay, but, like, independent music videos, a lot of them are very cookie cutter as far as the effects that they use and stuff. Mm-hmm. It's not, I mean, that's what I think, like, whenever I make a music video, I'm like, I want to do something, like, that's narratively interesting and has something interesting to it that's not just someone lip syncing and effects at different locations.
Holding their dick and pointing.
Yeah, because that is fully going to be replaced by AI. Like, it probably already is easily. Yeah.
Yeah. But like I said, I think it's for the more famous people. When the more famous you are, I think it's easier for AI to just make you a music video.
Yeah.
And I'm just waiting for that, for the first like famous artists. Like I feel like Snoop Dogg would be the first person. Yeah. Because he has so much Snoop Dogg shit out. Yeah. It's like Snoop Dogg puts out a song
and he loves it. He fully leans into like his likeness and all that shit. Like,
so I could definitely see him just being like, fuck all the video girls, fuck the homies. I'll just get consent. Like, hey man, do you want to be my video? Yeah, when is it? Don't worry about it. Just sign this paper.
Yeah.
And then like he can prompt it and they'll just put pieces together and it'll be a whole fucking Snoop Dogg music video with celebrities in it, and none of them were there, including Snoop Dogg.
Yeah.
You know, it was some guy behind a desk, you know, like jerking himself, making this shit.
Yeah.
You know, prompting.
Fixing the prompts.
Yeah, yeah. Like, okay, well, that's the first 30 seconds. Let's see if we can get for the next 15. And it's just keep prompting it and then editing the prompts together. Yeah. You know, and I could definitely see that happening. So, yeah, Snoop's the guy to do that. You know, because he's like it's like him and Shaq are like into everything.
Yeah.
You know.
So I guess, fuck you, ChatGPT. We're skipping your first question. What habits or routines help you be more effective in your personal or professional life?
One thing I've been working on is making goals. That's something, like, at times I've made like tasks or certain like rules for things, but I rarely made goals because at one point I feel like I need to keep myself open for options. And making goals seemed like it was narrowing what it was an option, because I had to get to this thing. When I was going into things kind of like seeing what was possible in this space. But I feel like now I do need to just have strict goals, because the what is possible leaves too much room to not do anything. Also, if things don't work out, then you didn't have to do anything. Yeah, and that's one thing that I like tell people is like, I don't like when people say try. Yeah. Like, I have a whole little statement about it. I say, trying is the time that you waste in between doing things. Yeah. Because it's like
Yoda.
Do
like, or do not. There is no try.
Yeah. It's because, I didn't know you ever said that. But yeah, that's I said it frontwards, but he said it backwards. Yeah. But that's hella funny. But that's my real thing. It's like, either do it or don't. Yeah. You know? And I feel like a lot of people feel like if they're not finished, they're not doing it. And I also try to explain that to people. It's like, just because you're like, I want to be the best shooter ever, and then you take 3 shots and you miss all of them, and it's like, fuck, I'm not being the greatest shooter ever. It's like, no, you made a decision to be the greatest shooter ever. 3 more. Then 3 more, and 3 more, and 3 more. You got to keep going. Yeah. And you keep going and not being the greatest shooter yet, you're still doing it because you're doing the work that it takes to become the greatest shooter ever, Stephen Curry. Mm-hmm. You know? And I think a lot of people discount that, is that what I'm telling you is to just make the decision. Because when you say try, you leave yourself this leeway to be like, oh, I tried and it didn't work. But when you say I'm doing it, now you have to work every day to bring it into fruition. Yeah. So that's what I think. I think deciding you want to do it and then just that every day after doing it is the habit that people should build. Yeah. Yeah. What do you think?
For me to be more effective, is getting people, like, making plans to do something with other people on something. If I'm just like, oh, I'm going to make this video, if it's just me, a lot of times I like, maybe we'll start writing it and forget about it. But if it's like, hey, we're getting together, we're meeting this day, and I set that commitment, I hate being flaky and I hate like not showing up to things. Mm-hmm. So I will show up and follow through when I make plans. Mm-hmm. So that's just, for me, is like setting a deadline that is like, okay, other people are involved in this, and so I need to show up.
I agree with that, and I hate that. Yeah. But it's true. It's like when I'm doing shit with other people, I feel like I have a certain understanding that I want people to see me as a very reliable, consistent person. Mm-hmm. You know, but then with myself, I'm kind of like flaky. Yeah. And I hate that, but that is true. It's like, if I tag in on anything anybody's doing, I'm like, yeah, whoa, let's go. Like, I'm intense. I'm like, yeah, okay, we're gonna be there. I was on time. You need to be on time too. We're gonna be punctual. We're gonna get this done. Yeah. And then when it's my shit, it's just like, pull up.
Do it next week.
Yeah, like let's drink, bro. Like, we can drink today. We'll do this shit tomorrow. You know, it's for me.
Yeah.
You know, and I agree. I was just telling somebody that I was like, I want to get around more like-minded people that push me to be better. Like I want people around me that push me to be better. I don't want people that want me to be less of myself and be kind of like just accepting of anything. You know, I feel like a lot of people they especially with me, because I'm kind of an asshole. I feel like a lot of people have an issue with me because I'm not chill about shit. You know, like I'm be like, nah, you could do better. You should do better.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that's unnerving for a lot of people. But I also realized that I just need to get around people that's not unnerving for. To where somebody's like, what, bro? You're not doing that thing that you said you were doing? You need to fucking do it, bro.
Yeah.
And that doesn't make me feel bad. Like, oh man, you're like talking down on me because I didn't finish my thing.
Yeah.
It's like, nah, bro, you're right.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, let's go.
Yeah.
Like, because I've been a part of teams, you
Yeah.
know, and I understand that drive and that passion to do shit. And I feel like a lot of people just have never been a part of a squad or a team or a sports team, to where if somebody tells them that they're fucking up and there's what they're doing is stupid, or they're not going about shit the right way, it's like, why are you down talking me? Why are you, trying to belittle me?
Yeah.
And I just don't see shit that way. So then when I interact with people at times, it comes off the wrong way, and people feel like I'm like talking down to them. And it's like, no, I'm trying to push you up. I'm trying to lift you up.
Yeah.
I'm trying to put you on my shoulders and push you over.
Yeah.
You know? But you see it as like, oh, I'm trying to like down. I'm trying to get you off the ground. It seems like you on the ground about this thing. And I'm trying to tell you, stand the fuck up. You can't drown in this water if you stand.
Yeah.
And you're drowning right now because you're laying down. Like, get the fuck up.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people like that energy.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, I feel like I just need to find people who, I like intense people like that. I like people that push me to be like, I'm not doing enough.
Yeah.
Because that's how I feel about myself. And other people will be like, oh, no, you need to just relax. And that doesn't make me feel good.
Yeah.
I'd rather somebody be like, that's all you're doing?
Yeah.
Like, yeah. What else do you think I can do? Like, I'm curious now. Like, damn, that's not enough for you?
Well, see,
like,
I'm kind of the opposite. I love chilling, but when I make plans with other people, then it forces me to be like, okay, no, I gotta show up for this thing. So that's how it works with me personally. But
what role does communication play in your effectiveness? You said you like dealing with other people, so is that what it is? It's just the communication, the
I got it. I mean,
community of it. That's the word I was looking for. Communication, and community, or
I think so. And like, I mean, and then it hypes you up to think about it. Like, it's like, when you text me to do something about the podcast, and like I'll be thinking about something totally different. Then I'm like, oh, now I'm thinking about like, well, what are we going to talk about? What should we do this week? Or with a music video, like it's fun to like bounce ideas off of people as opposed to just like, hey, you're going to shoot this video for me, right? Cool. And then like we don't really follow up, and then nothing ends up happening. Like that's happened with a few people, but with people I have worked with recently that it has worked out, it's like, oh, we bounce ideas back and forth. He's like, hey, I'm thinking, could we do this? Is this something like this possible? Yeah. Hey, are we going to meet up on this date? Yeah, like, I don't know if I'm ready to shoot yet. Well, let's still meet up and, we'll at least plan something, or maybe get some like test shots or something like that. And just keeping the energy going. It's like keeping rubbing our sticks together to make fire.
Okay.
I threw one at you there.
No, I don't think I can do this because I think it's going to copyright. So,
what?
No, I was going to do a thing, but
what were you going to do?
A thing, but I can't do the thing because I know it's probably going to copyright, and I don't. This episode isn't even cool enough to fucking have something copyright on it.
Okay.
Yeah. So,
all right. Well.
Yeah, I'll save it. This is personal shit.
Okay.
Sometimes I like to bring my personal shit in, but I'll let that one slide.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll tell you about it after the show, though.
Okay. But now I'm intrigued. We got to wrap this up soon. Hey, we only got a couple minutes left.
Okay, well, shit, let's wrap it up now. Who gives a fuck? Hey, you guys, we don't have a set time for you guys. Like,
hey, what's the last thing you want to let the people know about here after this effectiveness episode?
Okay, when you're out there being effective, like I said, doing these protests and pushing your initiatives and talking to your senators and lawmakers and everything, always choose happiness, because that's what your effectiveness is supposed to bring you in life. It's like you're out there being as effective as possible so that you, your family, and your loved ones can have more happiness. So while you out there being as effective as possible, as efficient as possible, as ugly as possible, choose happiness. Because I know a lot of you, I seen the protests. A lot of you people are fucking hideous.
There's some baddies out there, though.
Bro, I haven't seen anyone at the protest. I didn't look at it.
I
was just being an asshole.
I saw someone say, if you're flirting with someone at the protest, you're part of the resistance.
Choose happiness.
Yeah.
Get us out of here, bro.
Choose happiness, yeah.
I like resistance.
Stay happy and stay effective.
Yeah.
And we'll see you on the next one. This is EffectiveNESS. Don't forget to like and subscribe, because that would be very effective for everyone.
Yeah,
so,
two-hand twisters.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We'll see you guys later. All
Bro,
right.
but how was it a protest and I didn't see any tits, though?
I don't know. It wasn't a good...
Yeah,
it wasn't one of the good
especially
ones.
in Berkeley. They should have pulled out some hippie tits.
Oh, shit. Yeah, the low-hanging ones. We're still recording, by the way.
Oh, no. Cut this off. I have a girlfriend.
Oh.